Welcome back to the channel. This is day 16 through 18 of the 100 horror films in 31 days. Watched a lot of movies last few days, and I want to cover those. First up is this will be a short. This first one's going to be very short. I watched Anna and the Apocalypse 2017. And this was a subset selection. I would have never picked this. It's a musical. It's a Zomcom musical. And to say that I hated it probably would be an understatement. I didn't even finish it. I watched 20 minutes of it and I just cut it off. I just couldn't take it. It was like an hour and 50 minutes of just, I just don't like musicals, I guess. But I really don't like the whole approach of Anna and the Apocalypse was very much like I don't know, a Disney kind of puffy, blown up, feel goody movie. I don't know. I hated it. I really did. I would rather go to the dentist and get my tooth pulled or get a root canal than watch that shit. So I can't even rate it. I just cut it off. The next movie I watched was 28 Days Later from 2002. And I've watched this multiple times, and it always stands up to repeat viewings. It just does not lose its impact. It's well acted, great music. The opening scenes and the closing scenes are so iconic. I do think the second half, where we've got the military setting, is not as strong as the first half. I do think it dropped off. But even having said that, I still think it's a 9 out of 10 movie. And I just think that Gillian Murphy was fantastic in it. It's great movie. Fantastic. Next up is a childhood favorite, and that's The Ghost and Mr. Chicken with Don Knotts. This is from 1966, which is 1 year after I was born. Luther Heggs, Don Knotts plays a newspaper guy that basically on a bet stays at this haunted house. It is just a fun, and it's a throwback to an innocent time. And it's a child, like I said, it's a childhood favorite. I give it a 7 out of 10. It's probably not going to resonate with people unless you're from that era. But I found it very, very entertaining. And it's not the kind of like ha ha ha, like laugh out loud comedy. It's just an entertaining, good. I hate to use the term wholesome because that's more of a Disney type phrase, but it was just a good time. And then I watched The Quatermass Experiment from 1955. This is Hammer's sci-fi classic about an astronaut who returns to Earth with an infection, and the infection slowly transforms him into really what looked like a fucking octopus. It's a solid film with the usual Hammer style. I give it a 7 out of 10. I will say that Brian Dunleavy as Quatermass, he's kind of an annoying asshole. He kind of puts me off. But other than Brian Dunleavy, I think it's a solid sci-fi classic. Then I watched Necronomicon, 1993. Now, this is an anthology based on Lovecraft. And I would say that the second story, the David Warner is a scientist with a blood condition, or like a condition where he has to be in essentially freezing sub-zero temperatures, was the best story, hands down. I gave it a 7 out of 10. Jeffrey Combs is in this, but he really isn't in it long enough to make it I think they could have done more with Jeffrey Combs. Then I watched, so now we're moving on to the 17th. I watched House of Frankenstein 1997. Now you can watch this on YouTube. This is a 1990s network miniseries. I didn't even know about it. I just kind of stumbled upon it. It's essential. It takes the classic Universal monsters, and instead of the castle setting, the setting is an LA nightclub. It's super cheesy, kind of bad, overly long, but I'm kind of glad it exists. It's not good, but it was a decent one-time watch. 5 out of 10. And then next up is on the 17th, I watched Waxworks 1924. This is a German film directed by Paul Lenny with Conrad Veidt stealing the show as Ivan the Terrible. It's probably one of the few anthologies that I'm aware of in the 1920s. Very, very good film, short film, 83 minutes. It's essentially two stories. There is a third with a Jack the Ripper character, but it's only like 5 minutes. I liked it. I liked it a lot. It's a good film. Paul Lenny is a fantastic director. Of course, he did The Man Who Laughs, Cat and the Canary. So he's got a solid pedigree as a German director. Next up, we go to the 18th, and I finally got around to watching The Bye-Bye Man. I said I was never going to watch it, but it ended up on DirecTV for, I forget whether it was Cinemax or HBO, whatever, but I recorded it and said, well, I'll finally get around to watching it. It's a group of kids that are summoning a ghost. And this story, of course, has been played out thousands of times and done better. This one is different, however, in that it could easily have been made by Disney or the Lifetime Channel. It's so devoid of any kind of suspense or horror. I don't know what the producer's idea here was. I don't know what their target audience was. My guess is it's 13-year-old girls maybe would like this. I don't know. But the interesting thing about this, really, it's a bad movie. It's a bomb. I gave it a 1 out of 10. If you go to the producers, one of the producers is Jeffrey Soros. Now, Jeffrey Soros is the nephew of George Soros. And for those of you that enjoy conspiracy theories, of which I guess I can participate in this one, I actually believe that this has some validity. I do think that George Soros, for whatever reason, is funding a lot of left-wing stress in the United States, along with China, by the way. I think China is with a guy named Stigum, who lives in Hong Kong, of course. There's a lot of money flowing into the country, and has been flowing into the country to create, I think, social chaos, because that benefits foreign countries, particularly China, in terms of trying to exert dominance. You know, the United States has been a dominant player in the world politics for years and years and years and years. And certainly other countries, particularly China, I think would like to usurp us. So what better way to do that than create strife and division? I do think that some of that's going on. And but the comment that I guess I would make with this is that it's not enough that George Soros is going to fund staged protests and left-leaning wacko kind of judicial nominees. It's not enough. He's got to extend his hand into movies and screw that up too. So He did a good job with Bye Bye Man because it is a fucked up movie. I mean, it is a bomb. Terrible, terrible movie. 1 out of 10. There's your political rant for the day. All right, next up, Massacre at Central High, 1976. First time I watched Massacre at Central High, I was like lukewarm about it. It's about the new kid at a high school that takes on a group of bullies, takes on their kind of their hierarchy and authority, and essentially he takes it to the point of it being going very, very dark. Murders happen. That's why it's called Massacre at Central High. I liked it a lot this time. I thought it was much better this time around than the second time around. I gave it a 7 out of 10. I thought it was well acted. Robert Carradine is in this in an early role as Spoonie. You've also got Daryl Morey as David. He's the main guy fighting the bullies. And he went on to do some interesting stuff, I think. True Grit, for example. So, yeah, I thought Massacre at Central High was a good 70s flick. And I took a left turn and decided I was going to go ahead and revisit all the Insidious movies. And I think I talked about in the first Insidious on the 13th. I watched Chapter 2, and I'll be honest with you, I think Chapter 2 is better than the first film, which I think is a minority viewpoint because most people, I think, consider the first film a lot better. But this sequel takes off right where the first film left off. I like the complexity of the storytelling. I gave it an 8 out of 10. Where the film left off is we're still dealing with the haunted Lambert family and this evil spirit that they thought they had purged out of the child is still hanging around. So that's about all I'm going to say about that. Lynn Shay is a great actress. She carries the. If you didn't have Lynn Shay in the Insidious movies, it wouldn't be. I don't think the Insidious movies would be anything. She is the Insidious franchise. Fantastic actress. And then, well, that's it. That gets me through the 18th. I will cover the 19th and the 20th tomorrow. If you've seen any of these movies or you want to rant about George Soros, you can do it in the comment section. Appreciate you watching.